Do you know where the dry eraser is? Was it not over here? Where? Oh, sorry, I can't see that. Will you grab that chair? Spin it around. I think I'm going to put it over here. Hey guys! Welcome. See if we can get through this together. Hey, I cannot get Facebook Live to go through the computer. I can only do Facebook Live and Periscope through the phone, and since I only have one phone, you only get one platform. So everyone share this to your teams because it's not going to go live on, it is not going to go live on Facebook Live. So you can share it to Facebook too. If you guys, oh my God, these people, block user, pardon the people that get on here and say ridiculous things because it's Periscope and it's international and anyone can get on it. So as you see people coming on here and saying sexy and stuff, I can't always block these users. So so bear with me there. Don't pay any attention to that. Pay attention to the training. But you guys welcome. I've been offline for a little while because, for those of you who don't know, this week I had surgery, broke the ever-loving shadizzles out of my ankle, and have been recuperating a little bit, and it's been a crazy week. So, well, welcome, and I did want to do this Periscope today just because we've only got 2 weeks left inside of the X Factor promo. So I wanted to give everybody as much tools as they could and as much knowledge as they can so that you guys can do as much as you possibly can to absolutely take advantage of the triple the money that you guys could be making, right? You guys, the company doesn't run promotions like this ever. So the deal is this: you're gonna, inside your Zija business, you're gonna recruit people anyways. Over the course of the next probably, however many years you are going to be on this face of this earth, if you're going to stay with Zija, like me, for the rest of time, you're going to recruit a lot of people. So know this, like right now they're giving you an opportunity to basically go triple the money that you're going to make, you would make anyways, right? Normally you'd make a really good amount of money in this compensation plan. That's one of the reasons I picked Zija International as my home when I came here, 2.5 years ago. Almost 3 years ago now, but they're giving you guys the opportunity, especially if you're new to the business, to not only make the money that we always make, but multiply that times 3. So these next 2 weeks are of the essence. So before we even get started with structure training and how to go build your business here and how to put yourself into a six-figure income in a short amount of time, what you really need to know is right now it's go time. So the next 2 weeks you need to make sure that your calendar is cleared, that you are figuring out how to do your calendar and get really deep into where are your pockets of time that you can go utilize right now, and how are you going to go utilize them. All right, so today I'm going to talk a little bit about structure training, and structure is just the way you build your business, right? It's how to make sure you solidly put yourself in a position to go take this thing to, even on a part-time basis, to make it a full-time income. All right, and there's numbers to everything, and I'm a numbers kind of a person. I didn't do the business for the product. I've never done network marketing for the product. I got into the business to build a business. Luckily enough, when we found ourselves here at Zija, obviously you guys, if you're on here, you know what the products can do for us. Like, I don't have to pitch you on products. I don't have to tell you all about the stories that come with it because you guys already know that part of it. But just know in my head, in my brain, the numbers made more sense to me than the products ever did. Building a team of people and setting people free made way more sense to me than the products did. The products make sense anyways. It's like, duh, we need to be healthier. Everyone needs to be putting the stuff in their mouth. But if you can tell me numbers and what I need to go do, I'll go do it. That's how my brain works. So if you're like that, you'll love this training. You'll love what this does to a business, okay? But the first thing we need to talk about, I don't know if this is going to be backwards, if you guys are going to see this backwards. What is it going to say? No, I think this is right. Can they read that, or do we need to flip it around the other way? You guys can't read that very good, can you? It needs to be, I think we need to flip the screen around so that it's really not mirroring me. You can read that says culture? You guys can follow me? Culture. Okay, they're good. I guess that's right. Sometimes if I put it one way or the other, then it turns out being backwards. Okay, here it's good. You guys can read it. Perfect. I'm going to write with the red pen because it works better. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about before we even talk about your how to build a business, what you need to understand is that the most important thing that you're going to build inside of your business is your culture. If your culture sucks, your business will too. All right. And what is culture? There's a couple things that are going to lead to culture. Culture is going to be harmony, meaning everybody gets along, everybody works together, your whole team. Even like in my business, I got 2 teams, right? And they're both really big. My teams work together no matter whether they're even on the same team. We have really, really good harmony. But I'll see when new people get started, if their groups don't build a good harmony, what is this? Lock user. All right, cool. If they don't build with really good harmony, then they won't. They'll have problems and strife in the group from the very beginning. So harmony, even though it's not necessarily a tool that's going to be building a business, not showing the plan, harmony is very important inside of a group. So you've got to develop harmony. Then you've got to be doing the business. So presentations. Presentations need to be a part of your culture, right? And in presentations, that means parties, one-on-ones, your 3 validation calls. Basically, any way you would be pressing play on the DVD, right? Or getting somebody on the website. So a presentation is really just sharing with anybody the information, sharing with anybody the DVD, getting your Getting Started Training green DVD that came in your kit, getting in the car, going and seeing some of your friends, or getting the Getting Started Training DVD and going to your brand new distributor's house and getting a couple of their friends there and pressing play on the DVD at a home party, at a home event. You guys, home events will build your business. He or she who parties most wins. He or she who parties most wins. That's the biggest thing you can do inside of your business. In your business, if you can have a party going every single night of the week, you'll get it to explode. If you want to be a diamond, if you want to be a double diamond, a triple diamond, you need to be having 3 to 5 parties a night in different areas happening in your business. It's not going to happen with 1 exposure a day. It's just not. It's just the numbers will not work. But so in culture, you need harmony, you need presentations. You guys, this is validation calls are one thing that get overlooked really, really quickly. Validation calls are so important. So what's a validation call? It's like, let's say you're sitting with your friend Susie at the coffee shop and you share the video with her and she has questions and you don't know how to answer them because you're new. You get one of us on the phone to validate and answer those questions. That's all a validation call is. It's also a good way for you to ask me, like if I'm on the validation call with you and you're sitting with Susie and you're like, Susie has some questions, and so I answer her questions, and then when I'm done answering the questions, just say to me, Jess, if you were getting Susie started, if she was your friend, well, how would you recommend getting started? And I can recommend how to get started. So validation calls. Trainings. Pardon my medicine brain. Trainings. So trainings, Saturday morning trainings. And you guys, a lot of you think to yourselves like, oh, I can't do a training. I don't know all the information Jessica does. I don't know all the information Keith Smith does. I don't know all the information Damon Hardesty does. Whoever your upline is. The thing is, you don't need to know what we know to do a training. A training is really just a place for you guys to map out your next week. It's really to just get everybody's calendars on the same page, the people that are really doing this in a big way. It's also a way for you to make sure that that next Saturday you know where your training's going to be, where you're going to be having the home parties that week, and who on your team has their hand up saying, I want to go build a business. That's what you're going to figure out on Saturday morning trainings. The people who are actually wanting to go build are the ones that are going to show up, okay? So trainings are important. And then another piece of culture is personal development. All right? And under personal development, those are things like team calls. You need to be on every single team call. If you don't know when your team, I do a team call every single Wednesday night. If you're on my team and you're not on that team call, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you're not promoting that team call, you're doing your team a disservice. Because how are these people supposed to figure out how to go build a business if you're not plugging them into where they need to be plugged into to learn how to build a business? Team calls are how you do it. And you can think I'm crazy and that you don't want to do any of this stuff. That's fine. The business isn't going to work for you. It's just the way that it goes. You know me, I shoot straight, it is what it is. All of these things have to add up and all of the culture has to happen or none of the business is gonna create the proper structure for you, period. Okay, so team calls are part of personal development. Reading books, making sure you're on Zija Nation calls, right? The Zija calls that happen once a month and then all the calls that Dr. Plant does. You guys, those are all ways for you to learn how to go do the business and that are going to plug you into what is going on. So all of this stuff is going to have to happen. If I was you right now, if you're serious about building this business, I would go hit your calendar and make sure that your culture is on your calendar too, right? Making sure that your calendar's marked out for presentations, making sure you've got Saturday morning trainings on the calendar for next week. Making sure your personal development's marked in. When are your team calls? So that you'll remember to send them out to your groups as well. Make sure, don't assume that your upline is sending this information to all of your people. When you start sponsoring people, that is your team. You've got to get that information out to them or you're going to lose some people in the process. So team calls need to be on your calendar. Your Zija Nation calls, you need to make sure that everything is lined up so that you know where it is you need to be, what nights of the week that you've got going and your pockets of time that you can start putting parties and one-on-ones in those things. Oh, Eric, I just dropped it. All right, sorry guys. I'm a little disabled. Okay, so that's culture, all right? And for those of you guys who've seen me do culture training before, I do have a PowerPoint that goes along with this. So as you get more confident in building your business, I can forward you that PowerPoint and you can use it when you want to do a structured training for your team, okay? So now we're going to talk about a binary. We're going to talk about how to build in a binary structure, which is what we are here at Zija International, all right? So inside of any compensation plan, it doesn't matter if it was Zija or any other whatever, there's two things that you need to have to have a successful network marketing business. There's two things you're going to need. One is depth. Okay? Depth is your binary legs. Binary legs. All right? And you need width. And width is personal enrollments. Personal enrollments. All right? You cannot have a successful business without both of these things. You need both of those things to have a successful business. You need to have depth, meaning you have to have people in your business, right? And here at Zija, we build two legs. Here you are. You're going to have a right leg and a left leg, okay? So to have a successful business, you're going to need to have depth, but you're also going to need to have personal enrollments, width, okay? The cool thing is here, since we only build two legs, that width is going to drop down in depth as you build a business, okay? So think about this. Let's rewind 3 years ago when I got started in the business. Let's say you were the first person that I personally sponsored in my Zija business, okay? Let's say this was Jessica, and here you are, right? And let's say 3 years ago you started in the business and you did nothing. Zilcho. Nada, didn't do anything, did never show the presentation, but you know that I did, because obviously I'm an ambassador here at Zija International, been here for 3 years, got a really big business, it's international, it's all over the place. So let's say that was you and I sponsored you and put you there, and you did nothing. Well, where did the rest of everything that I do go? It went underneath you, right? So you have depth, but you have no what? Width. In which case you're making no money, right? You have to have both to have a successful business here inside of Zija. So this training is going to teach you how much depth and width you need to go build the business in a big way. So I'm going to teach it to you in 60-day chunks. All right? Days 0 to 60. All right? What I need you to do in days 0 to 60 is I need you to go 12 wide. All right, I need you to personally sponsor 12 people in your first 60 days. 60 days is how many weeks? It's 8 weeks, right? So if you've got 8 weeks and you need 12 people, basically every week you need to sponsor 2. All right, now so like let's break that down to how simple that would be here at Zija. Our most important rank that we have is a rank called Builder 500, okay? All right, in a Builder 500 in our business, a Builder 500 is somebody who's sponsored 2 people and has 500 PV on their right and 500 PV on their left. That's what a Builder 500 is. So let's say you got started today and you sponsored 2 people on gold kits with 500 PV and you put one on the right and one on the left. You are now a what? You're a Builder 500. That's how simple it is. So think about this. If in those 60 days, every single week, personally, what you did was go Builder 500, you sponsored one on the right, one on the left on gold kits. Bam, you're a Builder 500. The next week, one on the right, one on the left, they're gold kits. You're what? You're a Builder 500. So if your first 8 weeks, all you do is go Builder 500 every single week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of those weeks you can drop the ball. One of the weeks you could drop the ball. A couple of the weeks you could drop the ball. And you'd still have the 12. You'd still have the right amount of enrollments. Okay, this is not looking for customer enrollments, you guys. I'm talking business right now. Obviously, during this process of finding 12 business builders, you're going to find a whole bunch of customers, right? Because there's going to be people that don't want to build a business, but they want the product. They want to lose some weight. They want to feel better, whatever. So I am strictly talking numbers on the business side of things right now. All right. So enroll 12 wide in 60 days. All right. 6 on the right, 6 on the left. This is what's going to happen. Are you ready? So inside of those 12 people, you're going to have 3 or 4 that do nothing at all. I'm putting X's on them. Okay, 3 or 4 are going to do nothing at all. All right, and then 3 to 4 are going to go into, I'm putting an H on them, they're going to go into what I call holding. You never know where they're going to be. Doesn't really matter. But 4 of them are going to go into holding. What's holding? Holding is someone who is using the products. They're having a ton of good success. They show up at everything. They're super excited, but they never build a business. All right, they just never build a business. They won't bring anyone to a party. They won't have a party, but they show up at all the parties and they're super excited and their story's really good, but they're just not going to do anything. We call those people in holding because maybe at some point they'll come out of holding and build a business, but for the most part, they're in holding. And then you're going to have 3 or 4 out of that 12 that have their hands up and say, I want to go build a business. I want to go do this thing. I'm filling those people in. Oh, I accidentally put 7 people over here, so let's fix that. So you've got 2 on the right, 2 on the left that have their hands up. They're the ones showing up to Saturday morning trainings going, I want to go build a business. I want to do this thing in a big way. I want the money. I want the X Factor promo. I want to do this, right? Your only job as a Zija distributor is to figure out who has their hand up. Who is saying, help me, I want to go do this? Who out of your initial 12 is saying, help me, I want to go do this? Okay, you've got to find those people. Those are the people that you're going to go to work with. I don't need it. Those are the people that you're going to go to work with. Those are the people that you're going to spend your time with. All right, those are the people that are going to show up at Saturday morning trainings. Those are the people that are going to put their list on paper. Those are the people that are going to have their calendars, and they're going to actually invest time into their business. So those are the people you want to invest time into because they're investing time into themselves. So figure out who those 3 to 4 are. Then what do you do with them? What do you do with the 3 to 4 when you find them? You start plugging them into culture, right? You're starting to build your structure, but now you start showing them what the culture is. You start teaching them that they need to party, that they need to have harmony, that they need to have trainings, that they need to have okay, when we're ready for questions. Thanks, Ty. Personal development. You need to start plugging these people into the culture that's going on. So if you're plugging them into culture, what I would suggest to do is when you find that new person that says, yes, I want to do this, I want to make some money, in their first 24 hours, 48 hours, you want to have a party at their house. All right? In my opinion, if these people have their hands up, every one of these people with their hands up, you should be having at least 2 parties a week inside of their business. All right? So follow me here. If this person is having 2 parties a week, this person's having 2 parties a week, this person's having 2 parties a week, that person's having 2 parties a week, in my opinion, every single party, every party, with the proper invitations, right? Come to my house. I'm having something on Thursday. I need you to be there. I need you to do me a favor. I need your butt in a chair. I'm having some people come in and I found something really exciting. They're going to be explaining it, but I need you to promise me that you'll be there. Whatever your invitations are, with the proper invitations, every party should yield 1,000 PV by Friday night with the proper invitations and the proper follow-ups. Okay, it might not be that night, but every party should equal 1,000 in product volume. Maybe a couple of kits, maybe a couple customers, maybe somebody comes in on one really big Kelly, come on, not right now. One kit on one really big kit. So you guys think about this. If this person got started, what's today? Today's Saturday. Okay, so it's Saturday. Will you get your friend Susie started? We were just showing Susie at the coffee shop. She's like, cool, I want to get started. So let's say Monday night, Susie has a party. Proper introduction or invitations, proper people getting there. Susie starts having a party, and on Monday night, Susie's friend Sandy gets started on 1,000 PV kit. All right, cool, you already got 1,000 PV. Well, what are we going to do with her new prospect? We're going to get her started right away too, right? We got to get her started correctly, have a party. I mean, by Wednesday night, you've already had 2 parties in Susie's business, all right? And if every party yields 1,000 PV and you've got 4 people with their hands up and each one of those is yielding about 2,000 PV a week because you're running the proper parties, building the proper culture through those people, all right? 2,000 PV coming out of every one of those people with their hands up, not them personally, but through their business, through their organizations. You are now at 4,000 PV on your right and 4,000 PV total on your left, just by teaching them the proper culture, just by sponsoring, figuring out whose hands up and plugging them into the proper culture and making sure that everyone's having their first party within the first 24, 48 hours and that you're asking for the close and getting people started. And when they get started, we're partying with them too. 4,000 PV on your right and 4,000 PV on your left. Does anybody know what that yields? That already makes you a gold. You are now a gold. You're a gold. You're already a gold. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, this isn't Zija putting this out there, but in my opinion, a gold makes somewhere between $2,000 to $4,000 a month. That's a pretty good income on a very part-time basis. These people mostly just partied at night, right? These people are just making sure parties are running through the teams at night. And what happened at the parties? It was simple. They played the DVD, asked people to get started. 20-minute Zija DVD. It explains everything for you. Will you do this with me? Bam, get them started. Have a party at their house within the first 48 hours, and you are off and running. The other thing is this, you guys. Builder 500 is the most important rank at Zija International. You cannot go any other rank before you hit Builder 500. You cannot go any other rank until you're a Builder 500. There's just no way to do it, okay? So at the top of the compensation plan, when you're a diamond or above, there's another requirement that we need here, and that's called, you need 5 personal legs that have Builder 500s on them, meaning you had to have started 5 pieces of business that drop down into your depth that have a Builder 500 on it, okay? So if every one of these people right now that have their hands up are running 2,000 PV a week, you already have how many Builder 500 legs? 4. So you're already, just as a gold, just getting started, just 60 days into your business, going Builder 500 every week, who's got their hand up, starting working with them, you've built yourself into a gold business, but you're already, your structure is solid to take this thing to the next level. You follow me there? This is teaching you how to build a proper structure, because this thing's not easy. You've got to sponsor some people. Anybody on here who thinks they can sponsor 2 and go to the top of this compensation plan has another thing coming to them. You can sponsor 2 and make a couple $100, but you can't sponsor 2 and set yourself free. I'm teaching you right now, set yourself free kind of money, all right? And how simple it is and how to break it down to the easiest thing. So 0 to 60 days, you need to go 12 wide, 6 right, 6 left. This is the recap. 4 of them are going to do nothing at all. 4 of them are going to go into holding. 4 of them are going to have their hands up. All I need you to do is figure out who has their hands up. Get those people started as quickly as possible. Have a party at their house within 48 hours. Get their new people started just as quickly. All right? If your upline's not doing this, you guys, newsflash, you need to start doing this yourself. You're in charge of your culture. Nobody else is. Not me, not your upline, not your best friend, not anybody else. If you want this culture on your team and you want to build like this, guess whose job that is? It's yours. So 0 to 60 days, 6 right, 6 left, 4 do nothing, 4 going to hold, 4 will have their hands up, get to work with them, at least 2 parties a week at their house. You should be closing at least 1,000 PV at every single party. That'll put you at gold. Gold is somewhere between $2,000 to $4,000 a month, and you're 60 days into the business. All right, now I'm going to take this to the next level. I'm going to go days 60 to 120, and I'm going to take it to the next level. Are you guys ready for the next level? Because this is the beginning. This is getting you Ben's qualified. This is something that everyone, if you're already 60 days into the business and you haven't done this yet, it's time to just hit restart on yourself and go create exactly this. Okay? So I'm going to erase it, and we're going to go days 60 or 100 or 60 to 120. All right? So you already have these first 6 people. Now we're going to go days 60 to 120 in the business days, all right? You're going to need to go wider, meaning you're going to need to sponsor some more people. I need you to sponsor 12 more people. And yes, the exact same thing is going to happen. 6 are going to go right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 are going to go left, 3, 4, 5, 6. Guess what's going to happen with those 12? The same thing. 4 are going to do nothing at all. They're X's. 4 are going to go into holding. And 4 will have their hands up saying, I'm ready to go do this thing. I want an income. Let's go build it. And guess what you do? You just start absolutely over. But think about this, you guys. You've already got this first 6 that you've already gotten started. Some of them are probably silver. Some of them might even be gold by this point because you've developed them into leaders. You've trained proper culture. You've had them partying within their first 24 to 48 hours. So that's what they're doing with their teams. So they've got volume rolling in, and they've got a solid business building as well. And now let's say you go sponsor that next set of 12, and that volume runs through who? Your first set. So now you've got all this influx of volume that just bursts through their business again in the next 60 days. What do they have to go do to catch your volume? They got to go get their butts back to work too. So it forces the rest of your team to go do another burst. Does that make sense to you? Because that volume is going to flow through their businesses whether they like it or not. So if they want to capitalize on it, what do they got to go do? They got to go get their butts to work. You guys, by you being in charge of your business and you doing the burst that you need to do, you will force the rest of your team to go build a business. You'll force momentum into your organization. But the only one who can force the momentum into your organization is you. That's it. Nobody else can do it. You've got to do it. Okay, so again, we start building volume. These groups are yielding the same volume they were before, and now they're probably going to start yielding a little bit more. With these ones, again, you're going to be wanting to make sure that every single person with their hand up has 2 parties flowing through their businesses a week, so that you can get them rank advancing. You can get them going Builder 500, Builder 1000, Bronze, right? This should end up getting you somewhere between probably platinum to emerald. This, if you do this right and your culture is on point and they're partying and you're training, you're doing Saturday morning trainings and you're making sure everyone got started, you're making sure that's duplicating down to your team, and you're getting the water to the end of the row, and make sure that you're getting everybody on the team calls, and you're creating a culture that is just absolutely a winning atmosphere by making sure that your culture is correct and doing these numbers. This next burst to 120 days should take you to somewhere between platinum and emerald, and in my opinion, that's somewhere between $5,000 to $8,000 a month. That's $5K to $8K. That's a full-time income, unless you're like, I don't know, a football player or something for the NFL. That's a full-time income for most people. That's actually more than most people make in a month. And you're there in 120 days. You guys, yes, that's busting your butt. Yes, that's making sure the culture is proper. Yes, that's not relying on anybody else but your own self, making sure that this starts to happen. But that is you doing it. Think about this, you guys. You've already gone 24 wide. You sponsored 12 in this first 60 days. Then you sponsored 12 in this next 60 days. You are 24 wide. And you've got somewhere between 6 to 8 working Builder 500 legs. Right? Because you have about 6 to 8 people that had their hands up that were, I want to go do this thing. How many did I say you needed at Diamond? 5. You needed 5 at Diamond. So now you've got more Builder 500 legs than you need to go to the top of this compensation plan, and you're only 120 days into this business. Making sure that the proper culture is there, making sure that you've got the proper structure, that the people with their hands up, you're training them to have the proper structure, that everyone's on remembering that all you really got to do to create that structure is go Builder 500 every single week all by yourself. Take away anything else the rest of the business, the rest of anything the company does or anybody on your team does. You are going Builder 500 every single week. You are now in a full-time income inside of Zige International. It's pretty simple, you guys. Now to take it to Diamond, which is a 6-figure income here. All right, we're going to take it to Diamond. One more thing, and a lot of you are thinking, oh my gosh, sponsor 12 and then another 12. You guys, the second 12 are easier than the first 12. Let me tell you why. Because this first 12, you now have what with? You've got stories, you've got product stories, you've got people making money, you've got paychecks, you've got a big paycheck, right? You've got probably paychecks on a weekly basis that have a comma in them. And so now you go out and try and recruit your next 12. You can usually go back to the first people that you got started or that you took this thing to that told you no, that you were crazy, and be like, remember how you told me I was crazy and that thing wasn't going to work and I was whatever and you said you weren't going to do it and that I was going to quit. Well, I didn't quit and I've made this much money. Are you coming with me or not? This set of 12 is usually easier than the first set to recruit because now you're on fire. All right. You let up at any point during this run. You take your foot off the gas for 2 weeks, you'll lose every single bit of momentum that I'm teaching you to build. It's the name of the game. That's the one thing with network marketing is your momentum is every single person's momentum. So the moment you let up, you'll let your whole team down. And that sounds harsh, but it is what it is. Teams will rise or fall due to the leadership. So you don't stay consistent, they won't stay consistent. So this is a push. This is teaching you how to really go take this thing to a full-time income. But you can't do it with vacations in the middle of it. You can't do it with there's going to be about a 180-day period of time where you just roll. But 180 days from now, you can be in a 6-figure income, or you can be exactly where you are right now. That's totally up to you. So next part of it, 120 days to 180 days. This is your last burst taking you to Diamond. I call these bursts, right? You did a burst. Bam, 12. Okay, cool. 12 more. Got that. Now we're going to do one more burst, and that'll put you in, as long as your culture is proper, into basically running you to Diamond in 180 days. So what do I need you to do now? I need you to go wide again. I need you to personally sponsor again. I need you to personally sponsor 16 more. 16 enrollments. Days 120 to 180. Again, you guys, these ones will be a little bit easier than the ones before. Why? Because you've got people on your team now that are Ben's qualified. You're Ben's qualified. You've made money. You're an Emerald. You're probably on some calls. They've probably announced you on all kinds of things on, the internet. You've got like your team's recognized you. It's no wonder at this point whether you're doing good or not. It's a fact that you're doing good, and people will be able to see that. So these 16 will be a bit easier. Same thing happens, you guys. 8 go right, 8 go left. Same thing. Same numbers are going to happen. 4 of them are going to do nothing at all. 4 of them are going to get to work. It'll be more like 5 to 6. 5 or 6 will do nothing at all because you're a little higher in enrollment, 16. 5 to 6 will be in holding, and 5 to 6 will get their butts to work. Again, your 5 to 6 that you get to work, you're going to do the exact same thing with. Just because you have success at this point doesn't mean you're going to start people any differently than you did day one. That's the problem with this industry, is people start to get smart, they start to have success, and they start to think that it's going to be easier than it was at the beginning. And the bottom line is, you guys, when you sponsor somebody, the beginning is the same for every single person. So you've got to start over with that brand new person and teach them how to build a business from the basics, from scratch. You can't get too smart for the business. The moment you're too smart for the business, you'll slow down all momentum that you have. This business is about pressing play on the DVD. You guys go on Joel McNinch's Facebook page and look at what he's posting about. Because the dude's Gangster Volume Diamond Elite. What's he posting about? Pressing play on the DVD. You think he can't do a presentation? You think he can't do a PowerPoint and sign up every single person in that room? He can. The problem is it's this, you guys. It doesn't matter what works. It matters what duplicates. And anybody doing a fancy PowerPoint presentation and talking about every single piece of what Moringa oleifera will do for them isn't duplicatable, because the brand new person can't do that. You've got to get to the basics and continue to just do what duplicates. And what duplicates is this: small home events, one-on-one presentations, and validation calls after you've played a DVD. And whether you're here sponsoring 16 enrollments that are about to get you to Diamond, or whether you're here and you're going Builder 500 every single week for your first 8 weeks so that you can start the proper structure to go get yourself to 180 days from now, you're going to do the same thing on a daily basis. The name of this game, you guys, is get that video in front of as many people as you can. Here's some numbers. There's people in this business that have gone, Diamond in their first month in the business, all right? Instead of taking 180 days, they did it in 4 weeks. The only difference between them and someone who does it in 180 days is how fast they do this. All right? You want to make this thing go faster. You don't want it to be at Diamond in 180 days. That's cool. Take these same numbers and condense them up. Sponsor 24 in your first week and see what happens. Somebody who went Diamond in their first month, they sponsored about 30 people in their first week. If you want to do that, do that. I'm just giving you, these are numbers that anybody could go do. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter whether you have industry experience, doesn't matter whether you know what Moringa is, doesn't matter anything. Anybody can go work these numbers. Work these numbers. Make sure you've got the proper culture. Make sure that you're in charge of your culture. Make sure that you've got Saturday morning trainings going on and parties every single night, and you won't lose. But those are the basics. Those are the things you need to be doing. That is the structure. That is the vision. That is how you'll make this thing go happen in a big way. But here are the exact numbers, you guys. And I think this is so helpful so that you can realize really quickly that there's going to be some people that just don't do anything. You guys, if you can keep your emotions in control and figure out really quickly who's going to go build the business and who's not going to go build the business, this thing becomes a lot simpler, right? I think emotionally people that get attached to the H's and the X's, the people that are in holding and the people that are the X, because, maybe one of the X's is, oh my gosh, but that's John, the chiropractor in town, and he knows everybody. Because John's not going to do anything. It's clear that he's not going to do anything. Stop. Just you talking about him not doing anything is not going to make him go do anything. Find the people with their hands up saying, I want to go make some money. I want to go build this business, and go work with them. Go teach them how to go do the basics. Go press play on the DVD with them, and you'll build a big business. But that is, you guys, that's your structure. That's how many people. So sponsor those 16. You're now 40 wide. You've sponsored 40 people. I did math in every single company. Any friend that I have that's a top money earner in this industry, once they were, I asked everybody the same thing. How many have you sponsored? Like, in what time frame did you do that in? And the numbers, it wasn't even, it was crazy how they were. It doesn't matter what company they were. It doesn't matter who they were. It doesn't matter what their background was. At some point in their business, they made a decision that they were going to go take this thing to a heavy 6-figure income, and they ran those numbers, every single one of them. Joel McNinch was the exact same. Kevin Mullins, me, anybody that I talked to, even people that were not in Zija International, those are the numbers. So if you want yourself to get to a 6-figure income, there's your secret sauce. There's the numbers. Go do them. You have to do them in a short amount of time. You can't let up on the pressure. You've got to continue to put the pedal to the metal, or you'll drop all the momentum and you'll have to start that thing over. And then here's a good tip. Okay, so we talked about culture at the beginning, right? Culture, training, parties, personal development, team calls, all the things you need to be plugging into. I'll promise you this, if you've ran these numbers, if you've been at Zija for a decent amount of time and you've ran those numbers, but you're not at those ranks, I'll tell you with 100% certainty that you had a culture issue. If your business isn't where you want it to be right now, if your business is not where you want it to be, you have a culture issue. You 100% have a culture issue. Check your culture. What are you doing wrong? Is your harmony off? Are you not doing Saturday trainings? Are you not doing consistent parties every week? Are you not using validation calls? Are you just not doing anything? Because your business isn't going to grow unless you're putting these numbers into the proper culture. So if someone on your team starts running the numbers, right, and they're not popping the ranks, you need to sit down and have a heart-to-heart with them and say, look, your culture sucks. You can check everybody on where their business is. Tell them, I know you're not on the team calls. You guys, I know who on my team is not on my team calls. I know who's not plugging in, who's not doing Saturday morning trainings. I know who is doing Saturday morning trainings. I know who's partying. I know who's not partying, strictly by the numbers. Because the numbers work if you work the numbers. Structure and culture go hand in hand. If you're not doing one, the other one's not going to work. So that's that. Hey, Tay, I saw you said you had a question. We can go questions now if you want to. Questions. I know it takes a minute for them to pop up. All right. You guys, make sure you make big goals for the next 2 weeks for the X Factor promotion. 3 times the pay. Okay, what is the importance of us being at every home event with a new person, especially if you have what? You need to be at every single home event, and you need to be hosting your own. It's not even about being at everybody else's home events, you guys. It's about, if you don't have guests, you need to be having your own home events with your own people at your own house. So it's not about just plugging in. If you don't have a home event that night and you have no guests, yes, you should be at everybody's home events anyways, to keep yourself in the game, right? To keep the excitement and the culture and keep your head right. But you going to every single other person's home event with no guests is not going to do you any good. So you guys need to, if you can't get guests to somebody else's house, do your own party and get guests to your house. And then piquing interest. I saw Derek Cantrell just asked about piquing interest. Because piquing interest is going to be a little bit different for every single person. Before you go, you're usually talking to somebody that you know. You need to figure out, yes, it's going to be fun. The home party will be fun. You need to figure out, what is their cheese? When you're going to chat with somebody, right? If they're a workout person, think about, okay, well, Jessica works out, she does fitness competitions. I'm going to use her story to pique his interest. I'm going to say, like, oh my gosh, I'm not very good at this, but I know this girl and I think you'd be good just like them. Because I've always been really good at taking myself out of the situation and connecting whoever I'm talking to somebody else's story, or somebody else's, like, something that they connect with, right? So think about okay, they just a laid off school teacher. Oh my gosh, my friend Taylor got laid off a million times. That's why she's a networker now, because she didn't want to get laid off anymore. She wanted to take control of her life. Like, I'm going to connect her with Taylor, right? So think about who you've already heard stories about that would really connect with that person, and use that story to pique their interest. So that's a way that I do it. That's a easy way to take yourself out of it. Sometimes I feel like if you take yourself out of the middle, it's less. It seems less aggressive to the person that you're talking to. So, is there any other questions? Home events, home events, home events. Party, party, party. He or she who parties most wins. Are you recording this? I would like to watch again and share with my team. Yeah, it'll be recorded. It'll go up on my YouTube page soon. And if I was you, I'll leave you guys with this. If I was you, I would go into your back office, get the new NHR enrollment forms that have the NHR starter kit, the gold kit, the diamond kit, and it's a 1-page enrollment form. And I would figure out how big you want your paycheck to be this week, and I would print off the amount of enrollment forms you need to go create that paycheck. All right. So let's say you want $1,000 paycheck this week. All right. You're going to need to sponsor 4 people at $13.20. Okay. You're going to need to personally enroll 4 people at $13.20. So I would go into your back office, pull up that thing, and print out 4 enrollment forms. And I would circle $13.20, and I would go out this week and fill your calendar and see enough people until you've got those filled. Now, reminder, with the promotion that's at hand, if you sponsored 4 1320s this week, you'd make $1,000 if you did it by Friday night at midnight Mountain Standard Time. 4 weeks from now, as long as you're on 150 PV auto ship, you're registered for Summit, and you do the same thing with those people, you'll make another $2,000 on the back end in 4 weeks from now. So you'll make 1320 is a diamond kit. It's the big kit. It's the big system. If you sponsor 4 this week, $1,000 this week, and you'll make another $2,000 4 weeks from now when those auto ships go. No, you're good. You're good. Oh, 1,700 in Canada. Yeah, if you guys are in Canada, it's different. I'm talking U.S. dollars. So, diamond kits, big kits, build with them, print out enrollment forms, however big you want your paycheck to be. If you want a $2,000 paycheck this week, you need 8 people at $13.20. I've got people in my team who've done that in one day. Every single one of you guys can do this. If you're not where you want to be in your business, let's just hit restart. Let's hit restart today. Let's, or 10 years in, can you you can create freedom in any company at any time in any place. The beauty of it is that you guys, at the end of the day, we could go to any single company in the industry and make money at any time. Problem is most of the companies don't have their stuff together. Right? Like some companies are a flash in the pan. They're good right now, but they're not good long term. So creating legacy money is not you're not going to be able to do that at every single company. Any company that's been around for 50 years, yeah, we could go there and make a lot of money. But one other thing we did was we missed their run. We missed their run. Most companies that are a flash in the pan have no sustainability. So what we have here at Zizia is a company that's 10 years old, that already has the foundation in place, that has 3 different product lines that all could be $1 billion brand on their own, right? So 3 different divisions, if you will. They're not really divisions, they're just 3 different product lines, but 3 different that could go. And we have the opportunity to be in this company right now where we're at this place where we've been right around 200 million, 150 million, and we're going to take it to $1 billion brand. So that pocket of time isn't always going to be available. And there's not a lot of companies that'll actually be able to make that run, that have the foundation in place, that have their own, do their own manufacturing and stuff. And that's where you guys find yourself right now. The foundation's in place. We own everything we do. Debt-free company, already at almost 200 million. And we're going to go to $1 billion. And it's up to you to whether you're going to be a part of that. I'm going to be a part of that. My team's going to be a part of that. But you have the opportunity to do it. But the problem is are you willing to put in the work that is required to take advantage of that? So I'm going to take advantage of it. This business isn't hard. It's very simple, but you got to do it, right? It's not like rocket science or brain surgery. It's show the plan, show the plan, show the plan. And keep going, keep going, keep going. Be consistent. Don't give up. But if that's too hard for you, then I don't know what else you can do to create yourself some, a lifetime of freedom. So, all right, guys. Thanks for logging in. If you have any questions on any of that, get with get with your upline. I'll get this out so you guys can share it with your teams or whatever. I'll get it uploaded to YouTube as soon as I can. Hope it was helpful and hope you guys could read that. Have a great day, guys. Bye.